Okay. Hello, everyone. You guys can't see it on YouTube, but the room is packed. There's so many people here. There's honestly there's about 30 people in here. I'm saying like a rough estimate. I can count it in my head right now. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. For anyone watching this, I don't know. I feel like there aren't many art heapsters that talk about what they do. So that's why I'm doing this presentation. My slides are going to be pretty obnoxious, but that's just because I'm obnoxious. So kind of, comes with the territory. Anyways, yeah, I'll be showing you the wonders of theater and how making art can be very technical and analytical and more fun than science. So, just a warning, I have a neurological condition that is very similar to, fuck you, eat shit and die, to Tourettes Syndrome. So for simplicity's sake, I'll just be describing it as Tourette's. For those who don't know what Tourette's is, it's a disorder that causes someone to have to say or do things without control. They're called vocal tics and motor tics. I have some crude ones. Fuck your mom. I'd fuck your wife better. I have some crude ones that may come up, so just ignore them or laugh and move on. So yeah, today I may yell. I may do that sometimes if it's a bad one. But I might yell and curse and stutter among other things, and you're not allowed to get offended. Otherwise, you're ableist. So yeah. All right. That's me. Hi, I'm Rosie. I'm 19 and in my 6th year. I know I've been here way too long. They, her, please. I'm a business management major with focus in human resources, and I'm also a theater major with a focus in production. Fun facts about me. I like modern music history and its business aspects because I'm a fucking loser. I can't spell very well. I used to be a TVF major. I was super into science as a kid, and now I'm not. So I know a lot of obscure science facts. I have most of the periodic table memorized, which just takes up extra space in my brain that I really don't need to be giving that space for. I have 2 of my wisdom teeth left, and I can't touch my toes, so... Alright, so the technical side of theater is actually really fun. Fucked. Eat shit and die, fucko. I fucked your mom. I like to joke that it's like science, but less supervised, and it's kind of like engineering, but again, less supervised. But you're under intense time constraints. Most sets that we build, we have between 3 and 6 weeks to make, which might sound like a lot of time, but with 10 people to build it, not really, because they're pretty big. Yeah, every day is a new puzzle with different challenges and goals that you have to tackle in order to have the show go up on schedule, because you can't have anything fall behind because there's a lot of people relying on you. But yeah, we create pretty complex sets with very little time to build and load into the space and paint before we have to have all the actors do their thing in the space, as well as sound and lighting. So there's a lot. It has a high, what's the word? It's easy to bottleneck. Yeah. And the photo here is of our school's scene shop. Yeah, pretty cool.
Where is that?
Theater building.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Juan.
Do you have a favorite part of the process? Do you painting the stuff, or do you constructing stuff? What's your favorite part?
I'm in kind of the tech direction side, which is basically the building stuff part. It's a lot of budgeting as well too. There's slides about it, so I'll get to that, what my focuses are in areas. Yeah. All right. So this is some of the stuff I've worked on. This is a production we did called Bloodless. What's cool is that you can see, I don't know how to do this on YouTube, but I'll also show you guys. The window here, there's a rain system back there that we made. So during the set, like, it rains and we put this giant tree in there. You'll see in a later photo, and we paint boxes, which is cool. Not really. Okay. But and then the last photo, those beams are painted to look like metal beams. They're actually wood. Anyways, these are just, I'm showing you like progress photos as well as end photos. I have the same photo of a box. Okay. It's fine, leave me alone. Fuck! Cunt, bitch. So, the photo of all the art is, you can see on the wall, there's like tons of like paint and stuff. We had to paint, this is a black box theater in the music building. And we had to paint on the bricks onto a brick wall, which was kind of a pain in the ass, but the wall was black originally. And stripping the paint would have been a lot more work than necessary. So we decided just to paint bricks on bricks. It worked really well. Yeah, so this is more of the bricks. So this is all painted, which I think is pretty impressive. We have a really cool scenic artist on campus called her name is Alyssa. She's really cool, Alyssa Armis. Yeah, this is with some of the lighting. Yeah. Again, not the finished set. This is the finished set. So it's a pretty tight space, so I couldn't really get a very good photo of it, but yeah, there's again, I don't know how to show this on YouTube, but on the left, right? On the left, there is that's the rain unit, and it turns on and off during the play. It's very cool. And then this right here, the shelving that's kind of still on the left, there's a little hidey hole back there. It's very cool. So that someone during the play like pops out of. There's this sink works. Yeah. The window on the right, people climb through. We had someone who injured their arm while climbing through, but it just added to their character because they had to wear a sling for all the shows. So it's fine. It was a happy accident. No, it wasn't. Yeah. But this is the next show another show that I've worked on. This is Angels in America. We had a lot of like rolling sets. Again, this was in kind of a tighter space. Well, it was a huge space, but the audience was pretty close to the front, so it's hard to get a photo of the whole set, is basically what I'm saying. Yeah, we had different rolling units that we'd roll into the space. Yeah, pretty stuff. My friend did the lighting design for this, and I was her board operator. So I did all the programming for the lights. Yeah, and you see that the big hole in it? During the play, someone smashes through that. They're like the angel descending. It's artistic. Sue me. So every night we would have to re-put in styrofoam there, so that they could burst through it, which is interesting. I have a video of it. Cunt, bitch. Eat my jorts. Yeah, so it's supposed to be kind of not obnoxious, but like cheesy. Yeah, so we do some cool stuff. No, fuck. I mean, darn. This is another show we did called The Unseen Hand. Very pretty set. this is a billboard, as you can tell. There's secret entrances in the billboard. There's a secret entrance in the fallen over fence in the front. Yeah. One of the first productions that I worked on, I helped the lighting designer. I was assistant lighting designer for that show. Yeah, super cool. Those clouds are like these things called Gobos. It's very cool. Or not Gobos. This one's actually a glass Gobo. I'm not gonna. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, more photos of the pretty set. Ha ha ha. Cool. Yeah, it was about aliens, kind of. It was a really confusing show. Anyways, but the point being, it's wow, cool, pretty. Look, we made a whole set, and we had to actually crane this car in. The car? It's a giant metal car. And we had to crane that in through like the middle of the building. It was a long process. It was yeah.
You could have just driven a hole through the wall?
No, we thought about it, but no. This is another show we did, Funny House of a Negro. Very pretty set, very weird play, super confusing. But it is very, very artsy and cool. I liked it. I had a friend who also did the lighting design. I know everyone who did everything on these shows, so I can't really say, like, I had a friend who did this, because all of them are people I know. Yeah, and then we did an online show. I stage managed for this show. Probably. We did an online show. I stage managed for this show. It was called The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. These are some of the paperwork that I had to fill out. This blue block on the bottom is, like, scene breakdowns. So it's, like, who comes in and out of each scene. And that's the paper on the right is, the rehearsal call that I like send out to all the actors and some of the staff. Yeah, so that they come to rehearsal on time. This is a show I did the lighting design for. I don't have many photos of it because I did not take photos of it. This is my lighting design cheat sheet. I don't know, I just thought it'd be cool to show paperwork too. It's each of them, like the little areas, is like the color in which direction it goes, so that I can like quickly know what lights go in what direction and what color they are. Yeah. This was the lighting plot for the show. You have to make like it's like ground view of where the lights are and everything. Yeah, very cool. This is another show I did the work for. I was given this show 3 days before it opened. They were like, hey, can you do the lighting design? And I was like, sure. And I came in over winter break and I did the lighting design for it. None of the photos do it justice because they're all on my old Android phone. So they're really, really shitty, bad quality. Cunt, bitch. Fuck off. Yeah, so that was a fun production. This is other stuff that we do in theater. This is some of the paint work that you can do where you like do different scenic stuff. This is a birdhouse I made. It's inspired by Up. I don't know. And then the lighting photo is just an artsy photo of someone hanging lights, which I tend to do a lot. I'm usually on the lighting crews on campus. This is a set that I had an assignment where I had to like create a set. It was for a drafting class. But anyways, so this is the set. I had a sketch of it and then I brought it into the drafting software. This is like many hours later, but I drafted the set roughly. And then I did the structure of the walls. Those are what the walls are, the shell of the walls look like, in the window. Yeah, and I also had to make like cut lists of that and stuff, which is just like a list of the length that every piece of wood needs to be so that you can quickly refer to that rather than having to figure it out yourself. Yeah, and then this was the budget for it. The point of the project had to be less than $2,000. So, this is my budget. Usually we break it up into a lot more different budgets, and each set piece is another budget, like another like section, so that you can easily like cut things and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. This is where my business major comes in handy. Yeah, because I'm a business major, sadly. This is the most recent production. This was this semester. I'm very antsy. I'm moving in my chair a lot. I hope it's fine. Anyways, okay. Yeah, this is the most recent production. So these are, I'm gonna show you some of the sets, like the drafting paperwork for the sets, and then I'll show you like what it looks like, as well as pre-visualizations, which are fun. But this is the set. I don't really know how to describe it, but that's like the top-down view of it. It's a lot of stairs. And then the stuff on the right are the audience seats, so that's not like set. Yeah. There's a spinning door, a spinning window that they turned into a door. Really giant. There's a hanging light, stuff on the walls. I forgot what they're called. Anyways, and then this is the section view of it. Some things were cut from the sets. Like we used to have this giant ceiling that we had to haul up, and this specific production, it was done at the top floor of King Hall, the fifth floor. So we had to carry really, really big set pieces up the stairs during passing periods. So it wasn't necessarily the easiest thing. But it was a fun challenge. Not really. It was just painful. But we did it, and then we brought all of the ceiling up, and then the ceiling was cut, because that's what happens sometimes. So we had to take all of the ceiling back down. But the walls are like 12 feet tall. So very big set. These were my cut lists. They're on paper rather than through I don't know, online. Yeah, so that's when I'm like drawing it out for like our carpentry crew. Yeah, I don't know. Some of the walls are made out of metal, so that structurally they'd like withstand better, so they don't collapse on the actors. That'd be bad. Yeah. This is the pre-visualization of the set. So what it was like supposed to look like in theory, before we actually made it. Again, really ginormous walls. And we had to like figure out how we were gonna take them up, and if it was even possible to take the walls up. And we also have to use some of the materials that we already have, because you have to save money on the set. So a lot of it's our stock material, which is like walls that we have from like old productions, that we can just repaint and bring up. Yeah, this is another pre-visualization image. And then this is what the actual set looks like. The ceiling was cut, which kind of was a blessing in disguise, even though it was a lot of work that went down the drain. But yeah, it was a fun set. I was the assistant technical director for this. So yeah. But it was a cool show. It's already gone down. We have a musical going on right now though. Yeah, fun set. Those counters look simple, but you have to weld into the wall, because you never know what actors are gonna do during a production, because they're kind of an enigma. So you never know if they're gonna put their full weight on something. So you can be like, oh, they won't sit on this, and then they'll sit on it and it'll break. So you have to prepare for them to put their full weight on things, even though they probably shouldn't and wouldn't, because they usually do. Yeah. So we had to weld like these box steel, which is like 1x1 steel, out of the wall, so that it was like sticking out of the wall. And yeah, and then I forgot the word.
Saw.
No, it's a special type of saw. It's not a mortar. Anyways, you carve out some of it so that you can place two pieces like around the one piece. I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, more complicated than it looks. That's my point. Okay. Yeah, now that I've bombarded you with information and sensor input, do you have any questions for me about my majors, my career, my work, or literally anything else? Yeah, go on.
How are pre-visualization images made? Is that like a software?
Some people make them in, yeah, so there's softwares, and then there also people will bring renderings from the drafting softwares into like Photoshop or Illustrator, and they'll add stuff in that way. There were more pre-visualization stuff. I just didn't show those because it would have taken up a lot of time. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
So it seems like you do a lot of all-around stuff in terms of theater. What percentage of your time do you think would you say is spent on the financial aspect, the planning aspect, and the physical designing of the sets?
I don't know. Yeah. A lot of it's on building. But it depends on what my focus is, because if I'm lighting design for that show, then I'm not going to be building anything. Technical directors don't necessarily need to be in the shop helping build, but usually they do. I, because of health reasons, can't really be near saws because I might cut my arm off. So, don't usually do that anymore. I used to. But yeah, it's a mix. Most of it's just building and managing a crew and stuff, and making sure that everyone's on the right tasks and that paint gets everything in time so that they can be finished painting for the actors and everyone else. It's yeah. Yeah.
It's a bit of like organized chaos.
Yeah, it's organized chaos. Yeah, that's a good description of it, I suppose. Yeah, it's yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any advice for new students who might be interested in theater or going into theater?
New students who'd be interested in theater. No, I'm kidding. Do actually. When people say that you can't make a living with a theater degree, they're lying. Because it's actually one of the most useful careers on campus. I can go and build houses if I want to. I could go and teach art classes at schools. I could go and teach English at schools because I have script analysis in my back pocket. I can go, there's so many different career options, and when people say you can't make a living off of theater, usually they mean is you can't make a living as an actor, which isn't true, too, but also they're kind of ignoring the whole analytical side of it that involves building everything, which is also still really artistic and stuff. Because, you're picking the way that you're doing things, and that is inherently a creative kind of thing. So, just actually do it, and don't. A lot of people will say that you need to have a backup. I think that is also really dumb. I'm a business major as well, and none of the stuff in my business career is as hands-on and as useful as anything I've learned in my theater career, by far. Honestly, business is really not useless, but it's a lot of it is you lack application, and theater is the application of all the stuff I learned in business, and it helps to also have like a financial mindset towards things. So just don't not do it. Coming in with the double negatives. Yeah, commit yourself to it. I don't know. Really give yourself time, because in my opinion, theater majors are on campus longer than anyone else. I put more time in my major in one production probably than a lot of you have put in a while. Except for you guys in labs put a lot of time into your stuff, but theater, it's a lot of time in really small amounts. So like I'll be at school from like 9 in the morning to 12 o'clock at night for multiple days in a row, and then for strike where we take down the set, I'll be there until like 4 a.m. So they're really long hours, and it's a big commitment, but it's really fun. And the people you work with are, in my opinion, more interesting than a lot of other people on campus, because they're, it's, the stereotypical theater major, very loud and obnoxious, but in a fun way. kind of, sometimes. I don't know. But, yeah, so it's a very valid major. Don't let people tell you it's not. It's a very complex major with a lot of facets to it. Yeah. I don't know. Does that answer the question? I kind of got sidetracked, but I usually do, so. Yeah?
So what are your career plans?
What are my career plans?
You have them.
Oh, Lord. It's a good question. I want to go into technical theater, obviously. My plan is to, I'm taking a gap year. But my plan is to, maybe go to grad school for technical direction, because to be really good at technical direction, it's good to have a, let's just, no, but in all seriousness, I don't think a lot of people give art majors enough credit. A lot of people chalk it up to be kind of like not really a difficult major, or something that's, that's just someone, throwing paint around, or like being obnoxious and doing monologues and like, oh, I have to paint for this assignment. It's like, no, it's a lot of work. You put a lot of time into what we're doing, because we're making things that we deem are important, and it is important, the arts. Without the arts, if everyone was just STEM majors, everything would be pretty fucking boring. Because we wouldn't have a lot of things that are really, really cool. We'd just be bored all day doing pre-calculus and calculus. Oh god. And calculus too. Oh. Yeah, no. I don't know. I was a TVF major, because I wanted to go into video editing and audio for film as well as concert. So that's also a possible thing I will do in my career, is do lighting or sound for like musicians and stuff. Yeah.
Why did you switch from TDF to theater?
Theater kind of stole me. The department head definitely kind of stole me. I took one theater course because it was an intro to audio and lighting for theater. And I thought, well, I'm doing live entertainment possibly, so I should get that under my belt. And I did, and I took the course, and I fell in love with the people that I was working with. And I really enjoyed working on the productions that I was doing, and I saw that I could apply a lot of the science that I was obsessed with when I was younger to the theater work that I was doing. Like, you'd be surprised knowing what things were in different colors in a household could help with in theater. Because God knows I lit too many things on fire when I was younger. I'm not an arsonist, it's fine. Anyways, yeah. So I just kind of naturally started to go into theater rather than TVF. No shade to TVF though. I love the TVF department. I have a lot of really cool friends that are in the TVF department, or were in the TVF department, because I've been here for so long. But yeah, it was just they're very similar majors. I just happen to like theater a little bit more. So, yeah. Yeah.
What do you think academic culture needs to do to work towards destigmatization of the arts and stuff like that?
Stop telling artists that they need to have a backup. I remember, I'm not gonna say who, but there was an Eepster who gave a presentation to Pravis about how to honors academy students. Sorry,
No,
excuse the misspoke.
That's worse than swearing, you know.
That's worse than swearing. Oh, fucked. Limp dick with a power complex. Sorry. Anyways. Okay. What was I saying? Destigmatizing arts. Yeah, there was a person who did a presentation during Honors Academy about how if you're gonna be an art major, you should have a backup. And do you want to guess what major he was?
Business.
Yeah, he was a business major. I think he was a finance major. And I was livid. Rightfully so, because that's such a disheartening thing. It's like basically saying like, you're not gonna make it, don't even try. So make sure you have this thing that you can always fall back on. Like, I'm not saying it's bad to have things to be able to fall back on just in case if something doesn't work out. I'm all for being a well-rounded individual, but that's not the way that you should go about telling people to do that. I think going to more art shows and more theater productions and more movie screenings and more animation reel exhibitions are far more important than a lot of other things. I think just supporting the arts and like actually having an appreciation for the work that they do and the effort that they put into it, because I don't think that a lot of people really understand how time consuming all of it is, and how much, like, people claim that art majors are so easy and stuff, but to be a theater major and not be interested in theater, you would have a terrible time, because with the amount of effort and time that you sink into these productions, it's kind of stupid not to not like it, you know? And also, I see people who go into the arts as more authentic human beings, typically, just because going into something that everyone's telling you isn't fiscally responsible is kind of an admirable thing to do. Fucked! Shit. Cunt. Bitch. Anyways. Sorry. Yeah. I think science majors just need to get off their high horse. That's the more polite way of saying what I was going to say. So, not that science majors don't support the arts. Some of them do. I just think everyone needs to realize that they're all artistic. Like, everyone's artistic and creative in some sort of capacity. So, the work that I do isn't less valuable just because I'm not curing a disease, you know? Like, when I became an art major, a lot of people who I met who figured out that I was an Eepster, a lot of them were like, why aren't you curing cancer? Or becoming a lawyer? Or, you know, they would, like, all these high prestigious degrees that they think were a better choice for me. So I had to deal with, you know, like, why are you going into this career? Like, you're too smart for this or something like that. And that's just not a good way of talking to people. It's just kind of mean. I don't know if I have much more to say about that. It's just wrong. So yeah, be less mean, go to more art shows. That's TLDR. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if anyone in the YouTube has comments for me, but probably not. Yeah, alright, well, that's it.